What is up, everybody? We are back, and I've got a great video for you today. This is going to pertain more towards the OCD and anxiety audience rather than the handyman audience, but I think this is really good information that can benefit people in all sorts of different situations. So, with that being said, this is not a guide to treatment. This is not advice specifically for you. This is just how I'm dealing with OCD and anxiety in my life today. So let's start when my daughter was born. And when she was born, my life took on a new level of importance. And my OCD realized that. And it realized that I found new things in my life important. For instance, my health. I want to be around for my daughter. For instance, my ability to provide for my family. I want to be able to provide them of everything I need. And these are things that were always important to me. But once my daughter was born, like I said, they took on a new level of importance. So OCD realized that, and OCD kind of attacked me right away and started to find different avenues to get at me, where different times in my life, let's say, when I was a little child, it would get to me through these type of things. And then as I would work through those and get a little bit older, it would realize that new things were important to me and try to get to me through those things. And then, like I said, when my daughter was born, well, it was off to the races, because now everything is important. I've got to provide a stable life for this child for as long as I need to, until she's able to go off in the world and provide for herself. So everything is important. And if I'm really honest, it was really difficult for me. And not only for me, but also the other people in my home. I was constantly on edge. I was always off in my own world, ruminating. I was never really present for, probably the better half of 2 years once my daughter was born. And it wasn't until I had decided to get back into therapy with a OCD specialist and start doing ERP therapy that things got better. And it's been probably like about 3 years now that I've frequently go to therapy and work through these things that have helped me a lot. But I was talking to my fiance the other night, and I was saying, we actually have another baby that's going to be born in May. So we're really excited about that. And I was talking to her about it. I was saying, when the new baby is here, I'm kind of preparing myself for more OCD, more anxiety, for all of that to be kind of heightened for a while. But I've been thinking about it, but I'm not super worried about it, because I feel like I'm more well equipped to deal with it now than I was 3 or 4 years ago. And I was thinking about, why am I more equipped, and how can I explain that so that I can maybe help some other people? And I think it's all about recognition, being able to recognize when you're going down an OCD or anxiety wormhole, when these are not real fears or dangers. These are just OCD obsessions or anxiety trying to make me second guess everything. And if you're able to recognize that and slow down enough to say, hey, this is not a real worry. A lot of times for me today, it's like all these worries and OCD obsessions are things that I already know about. I've already dealt with, or I know are just things that could happen, might happen, won't happen, we don't know. But there's nothing that I can do to try to control that. And once you let go of that control, things can get a lot easier, but it all starts with recognizing it. And I think this is important to talk about, because it's not only people that are going to have children. Let's say you're a senior in high school and you're about to go to college, or you just graduated college and you're going to start a new career, or whatever the life event may be. Especially if you have OCD and anxiety, you need to be aware that when you go down this new path and you start this new venture on life, your OCD is going to recognize that you're doing these new things and that new things are becoming important to you. So just be aware of that as you go through your day-to-day life. And when anxiety sets in and when OCD sets in, just give yourself a second to stop, take a step back, and realize, is this an OCD thought? If it is, I'm going to allow it to be there. I'm going to do nothing about it. And if it's not an OCD thought, okay, then what's the next right thing to do? But for me, at least, 98% of the stuff that went on when my first daughter was born was purely OCD and anxiety driven worries. And, you know, I sit back and I think about it, and I'm very proud of the father that I am today, but there's a lot of time that I really wasn't super present when I could have been a little bit more present because I was off in my OCD mind. And I'm excited because now I have the opportunity to do that again and to not make those same mistakes and to deal with that kind of stuff in a more constructive way so that it does not affect me as much or the other people within my household. Because, you know, often the ones that we love are the ones that deal with it the hardest because they're the ones that we go to. They're the ones that are there for us day in and day out. We need to recognize that and honor them as well, because if you have OCD and anxiety like I do, and you have a partner that loves you and sticks with you, like, you need to, like, get on the ground and bow down to that person, because I couldn't deal with myself if it was the other way around. I don't know how she deals with me sometimes, but I'm so grateful that she did, because in the last 5 years, we've gone through so many things together, and I just feel like I've grown, you know, tenfold from who I was 5 years ago. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to her for walking beside me through all of these things, and we've got a whole life ahead of us of new adventures to go through together. But I wanted to share this with you guys today because I felt like it was a very genuine thing. It was a very real situation that we deal with a lot of times with OCD and anxiety. So I hope this helps. Like always, like this video so other people can find it. Leave me some comments of some ways that you dealt with anxieties when taking on new paths in your life. And like always, hit that subscribe button and check out my fiance's channel, JoJo's Colorful World. It's a simple little color along channel where she colors by numbers with some cool music in the background. It's just constructive stuff for either yourself or your children to be watching rather than some mindless stuff on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment. Thank you all.